It's been no secret that the Harley-Davidson LiveWire was headed for production, but now we get to see the production version and get a sense of what its final specs will look like. It seems like Harley has a chance at making good on its promise that it made back in January that the bike will be on the market within 18 months. The LiveWire has been in development for an eternity. The project that spawned it started in 2010. They showed off one in 2014, a 74 horsepower prototype that made 52 foot-pounds of torque and could hit 92 miles an hour. It only had a range of 60 miles though. We have details but not complete specs from the current version. Motor output, battery capacity, and range, all kinda unknown still. That said, well, we can start filling in some of the gaps. It is still electric, of course, but we now know that it pushes power through a permanent magnetic motor. It makes a sound that increases in pitch with speed. Now, sound characteristics, pretty important with the Harley, and I hope the new LiveWire sound is distinctive and you recognize it instantly as a Harley bike. The battery will be a multi-cell lithium-ion unit protected by a finned aluminum housing, and any Harley dealer that sells the LiveWire will have a DC fast charging station on the premises. The production LiveWire will get Showa adjustable suspension with a monoshock in the back, ABS and traction control, all standard on these bikes, and it'll wear Michelin Scorcher tires co-branded with Harley. It'll sport 4 predefined drive modes and 3 user configurable ones too. As a high-tech centerpiece of the line, it'll feature a touchscreen display with lots of information available, including navigation, Bluetooth, and vehicle functions. Harley says they will release pricing and availability sometime in January. An MIT researcher claims a laser space beacon detectable up to 20,000 light years away is feasible, essentially acting as a porch light for extraterrestrial life. James Clark's study posits that focusing a 1 to 2 megawatt laser throughout a 30 to 45 meter telescope and aiming it into space would create a beacon that would emit enough radiation to be distinctive from the sun's infrared energy. Now, if there are alien astronomers in a neighboring solar system, say on the exoplanets orbiting a star that's 40 light years or so away, they might spot the signal from our little corner of the galaxy. The study suggests that we could even send a Morse code style message with the laser by using pulses. The tech scientists would need to build such a beacon is within practical reach. There's a 39-meter telescope under construction in Chile, for instance, while the scrapped U.S. Air Force Yaw-1 airborne laser, which could destroy missiles mid-flight, had the equivalent power to the laser that Clark says would be required. There are more practical concerns as well, such as the laser potentially damaging your eyes if you look directly towards it, even though the beam would be invisible to the naked eye. The laser could also affect cameras on spacecraft that passed through it. As such, Clark suggested that the installation should actually be on the moon. That would be the safest bet anyway, even if it's a vastly more impractical one. But what of the flip side to the equation? Could we spot a similar beacon from another planet with our current technology? Well, yes. So there is a slim chance we might be able to invite them over for coffee, after all. Assuming that they don't annihilate us all first, that is. Lilium, the developer of the new electric vertical takeoff and landing vehicle for a novel flying taxi service, has poached some pretty big former executives from Airbus and Audi as it builds out its technology and gets ready to bring its service to market. Mirko Rauter, the former head of automated driving at Audi, has come on board as the head of autonomous flight at Lilium. Jacob Wazenbach, who worked as the head of equipment installation at Airbus, and Rokas Mentor, former vice president of Airbus Finance and Leasing Group, have joined Lilium as head of aircraft assembly and general counsel and head of legal, respectively. Co-founded in 2015, Lilium's vision is to create a network for its proprietary vertical takeoff and landing vehicles that will slash the cost of air travel and can take a passenger from Paris to London in about an hour. Rauter, a longtime head of autonomous driving at Audi, will be responsible for leading and developing the process and technologies necessary to bring autonomous aircraft systems to the market. Lilium's bulking up its executive team as it prepares for a rollout of its first vehicles sometime in 2019, according to news reports. In 2017, the company raised $90 million in fresh funding from investors, including Tencent. The funding and the executive hires lends credence to Lilium's business in an increasingly competitive industry. Yes, the flying taxi industry is competitive. German automaker Daimler joined a consortium of investors that backed Volocopter with roughly $28.5 million, and the ride-hailing service Uber is also working to develop its own flying taxi. And Airbus has its Vahana autonomous flying taxi, which it's hoping to bring to market in the next few years. And finally, happening in this week's What The? Police in Alabama are looking for a man who fell through the ceiling of a Waffle House with no pants on. Video from the incident shows the ceiling of the restaurant bulge before the man falls through. The man, identified as Wesley Glenn Bost, can be seen shoving and hitting customers as he makes his way to the door, which is being held by people on the other side. The video cuts off just as Bost grabs a chair, hits the door with his shoulder, and falls to the floor. Officials said Bost got away after a brief chase. Investigators believe Bost was drunk or on drugs, went into the bathroom, took off his pants, and then crawled up into the ceiling. Thanks for watching your weekly tech update. If you have a story you think we should feature on the program, shoot me an email, djraymcneil@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook at Your Weekly Tech Update, and check out the podcast, audio and video versions available on iTunes, Spotify, Google, Audio Burst, and elsewhere on the interwebs. Till next time, I'm Ray McNeil. Good night, world. Your Weekly Tech Update brought to you by Holiday Home Care, Phillip Island, Victoria, Australia. It's your turn to relax. Before you get on holiday on the island, contact Holiday Home Care. We can set up your residence or holiday rental, do the shopping for you, provide linen and towels, and make sure it's all ready by the time you get here, giving you more time to enjoy what Phillip Island has to offer. For more information, visit holidayhomecarepi.com or email holidayhomecarepi@gmail.com.